Cistern Delivery to the new Slate Quarry in Zherbai Quarries. Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of SnowRunner here at OpenFed Gaming. I am the OpenFed. Today we are driving our Avenhorn A15 and we unfortunately have to take a trailer with us. Now, as you know, for those of you that have been watching my videos, I don't really care for pulling trailers, or pulling them is okay, but backing them up is a tough job for me. I'm not the best at it, and I really don't care for that. I try to avoid it all I can. But this time, this cistern, which as far as I'm understanding is a big tank for holding water or any, I'm not sure if it can hold other stuff, but I think it's a water tank that they need, and it takes up, I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5 cargo spots. Anyhow, this is a 5 cargo slot trailer that we're pulling, and we're gonna hope, hopefully we won't have to back it up, or if we do, that it won't be too much. Now, we are in the Task Fury Road, which is part of the KAZ Minerals PLC contract, and we got to deliver this cistern to the bottom of the new Slate Quarry. Now, there's a lot of quarry work here. The new Slate and the Silver Quarry are side by side, and off to the other side is the old Slate Quarry. But we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here in Zherbai Quarries, the map of Zherbai Quarries, which is the only map in the Almaty region. And we're down to, I believe it is 6 or 7 tasks left in the 2 different contracts. But usually each task has more than one thing you gotta do. Like this one, if you can see on the screen on the top right-hand side, we got to deliver to the new Slate Quarry the cistern, and then we got to deliver to the Silver Quarry 4 pallets of oil barrels, which we'll be doing in our very next video, and I hope you'll join us for that. I think we're going to be taking the Kenworth 963 and see if we can deliver all 4 oil barrels at the same time. And I hope you come back and join us for that. Anyhow, we're driving the Avenhorn A15 with a 5-slot 5th wheel trailer behind us, and the cistern is up beside the fuel station just up ahead here on the left hand side. Now, we can drive straight into it, but then we can't get out of it, so we have to take this truck and trailer and turn it around and be pointing in the other direction, because the other direction is the way we got to go to deliver it. So what we're going to do, and I've even tested this a little bit. I took a few drives out here and see where the best place was to turn it around. And you can get around this little central area here by town, but it's really, really tight, and you gotta jockey it back and forth. And I just said, I just turfed that idea, and I thought, well, let's just keep driving and just go around the city block and go back again. It's the simplest, easiest. You don't have to back up, you don't have to jockey around, you don't have to do nothing but drive forward. So we figured that would be the best way for me to go, and that's what we did. We're going to turn into a right here, go over 1 block, turn right again, and go over 1 block and turn left, and we're back on our way to the gas station. And it's a little bit tight through here with the trailer being as long as it is. But there again, like I keep saying in my videos, when I got to bring something somewhere where there's going to be a lot of turns and curves and stuff, you've already got a long trailer. Why would you want to use a truck with a long frame? Like, why would you use the Kenworth to pull this to go down to the bottom of the quarry? You'd have a lot less room to maneuver, and it'd be a lot more difficult. Plus, the Kenworth has no more power than the Avenhorn that you're going to need to do this job. So I figure we'll take the Avenhorn, low center of gravity, lots of power, great traction, short wheelbase. What could go wrong? Well, stick around and you will find out if anything is going to go wrong. Now, as we're coming up around the corner here, we got the fuel station on the right hand side, and the cistern is laying right over on this side also. So we're just going to drive up and pull up beside it, and then that way when we leave, we just back up, refuel, and we're on our way again. So we're just going to get, well, maybe move it a little bit further to Opafet. Go a little bit further forward. There we go. Then mow. Take the crane, lift it up. Now it's because we're connected to the trailer, and I'm not sure. It's a long cistern, so I'm not sure if we can push it as far back as we need to. But that's not a problem, because if that becomes an issue, then we're just going to put it down on the trailer, pull the crane in, and push it out with the tip of the crane. Sometimes you just got to think outside the box and go, well, that's the way we're going to do it. Worst comes to worst, I could always push it back and disconnect the trailer and then pull up beside it. I could do that too. But I figured we'd try this first, and hopefully we can pull that crane back far enough so we can put it in front of it. Because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do this. But it's going to work. It's going to work. We're just going to push it back and put it on the trailer bed itself. There we go. Then we're going to restore the crane, pack the cargo, and back her up and get into the fuel station. Simple as that. Then we're going to fuel up. And if the next thing that we're going to do, you said we're going to change the time of day, then you're absolutely right on the money and getting to know what the Opafet's like. We like to drive with the time of day as bright as possible so we can see this gorgeous game and see what's happening. Plus, we need all the help we can get, so if we can see a little bit better, so much better for us. Okay, let's go, boys. We've got a cistern to deliver. And we've got a long ways to go. We've got only all day to get there. There we go. Now we got to go back past that little detour by the warehouse, but we're not going to go back quite as far as the garage. Before the garage, we're going to turn off to the right into the bush, do a little bit of four-wheeling until we get to the entry of the new Slate Quarry. I tell you, this is just, if you haven't got a chance to drive the Avenhorn yet, the Avenhorn is a DLC in a double pack called the Dragon Wagon pack. I believe the other truck is the Panera. I haven't even tried it out yet. I've been busy with the Avenhorn, and I've been busy with the Kenworth, and I've tried a few other trucks, but the Avenhorn is the most versatile, I believe. It's the most versatile and can do the most different kinds of jobs available. So it's one of my favorite trucks, as you can tell. Now, just heading up the road here, on the right-hand side is where we're going to go off-road. And from there on in, it gets a little bit more difficult, because we've been driving on paved road here so far. Then we're going to have to go in between trees, over rocks, and through little cracks and areas. It's going to be a little bit tougher to get down there. Just up ahead. Right there with the next electrical pole, we got to turn off to the right. And there again, when you're playing SnowRunner, go slow. You've got lots of time. There is no, you do not finish higher by finishing earlier. You do not get more credits. You do not make more money. You get no slap on the back for saying, good job done, boys, because we've got to deliver it. That is the only object of this game. How we do it is not important, and speed is not of the essence. So that's why I like to take my time. I put this Avenhorn in the high range of the low gear, which gives it a nice speed if I want to go a little bit faster, and it helps me to hold the truck back when I'm going down a little bit of a slanty area, slanty hill or something. The high range and the low gear will hold it back. Now, this turn here, I overshot it on purpose because I know that the turn was really tight. So there again, like I said, patience, go a little bit slower, and as you can see now, you can see how tight that turn would have been, and would have been dragging along those trees and maybe not made it. So we overshot the corner a little bit and then backed up and jockeyed it over. Now the little bridge to the right hand side there, that is the direction towards the silver quarry, and that's where the oil barrels have to go, and that we're going to be delivering in our next video. Like I said, we hope that you will join us for that. Well, for today, we're going to go straight ahead. Oh, look at that. that was a little bit of a strange look of that inside of the cistern. I don't think we were supposed to see that. Anyhow, over here we got all these tight turns and slanted roads. Most of them are passable and don't pose too much of a problem. That is, again, if you take your time. If you go too fast, you're going to hit a rock, you're going to hit a bump, or anything, any kind of a bounce, especially in the quarries. They got lots of areas that are quite angly, and if you try to go too fast, that is what will bring you down. So there again, take your time. We've got all the time we need. This part of the journey is more or less straight. I mean, the road goes from side to side, but you can cut all those corners off. Not really an issue. The issue will come later when we're going down into the quarry. It gets a little bit tougher, a little bit tighter area. As you can see, it's quite a long trailer. Quite a long trailer, and it doesn't always do exactly what you want it to do, no matter how much you yell and scream and try to turn your controller to one side or the other. This is just an absolutely awesome game. Absolutely awesome. And like I said, for general use, the Avenhorn, the Plaid, and the Kenworth are three of the top trucks in this game as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that of course is just a personal opinion again. A lot of people, there's people out there that like to use all the different trucks, even the ones that are not capable, they like to try them out and drive them in different situations. I, however, am not one of those people, because when I go out to do a job, I'd like to see it done. So if I drive a truck that might not be able to do the job, the challenge for me is an unreal challenge, because you could have been using a truck that will do the job. So anyhow, we're getting close to the entrance of the quarry. We got one tiny little bridge to go across yet. And I found too that when you play SnowRunner, when you driving in peculiar or dangerous areas, or even an area like this, if you keep an eye on the angle of the trailer, this trailer should have rolled off the little bridge. But I find that if you don't look back and you just keep going, a lot of times these issues will not be an issue. As you can see, we're off the little bridge, but it's still a little long. So good for us, I suppose. Here is another scary little corner. I didn't feel like I went over to the left-hand side far enough, so that when you come up here, that trailer is not on the ground anymore. How is it staying up? The wonders of SnowRunning. But the Avenhorn is a magical truck. He pulls it straight through and around the corner, and we're going to go into our descent pretty quick here. We just passed the silver quarry on the right-hand side. Like I said, they're side by side. And this here is the new Slate Quarry, and just north of this, to the left, up over that ridge, is the old Slate Quarry. Just the three quarries on the map. But they've given us enough work. We've hauled a lot of stuff out of there, and now we're starting to haul a lot of stuff in. And I would imagine that would be in preparation for the final cutscene where the quarry will be up and running. Now we move the time up ahead again, because this is where things are going to get a little bit dicier again as we're coming down the hill into the quarry. Now going down into the quarry, I find a little bit easier than going up. It's not too difficult to control your speed going down. Like I said, use the gearbox on top of your brakes. But going down, gravity helps a lot. It seems to be a little bit easier. But there's a few areas, like this one here is one of them. You have to, you know, kind of, if you go over too far, you will start to slide off, as you can see with the truck there. But it's usually pretty good. Usually pretty good. One other area I don't like all that much is coming up. A lot of little issues along the way. Any one of them that can throw you off your game. Now, just up ahead here, you got 3 boulders, 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. And there again, you're never going to get that trailer to snake through those, in between those boulders. It's just not going to happen. So the best you can do is try to snake your truck through properly. Now, I end up running into this rock here, and any other time it'll go over top of it. This time it didn't want to at first. But you snake your truck through, and hopefully he has enough power to pull your trailer over or through whatever it happens to be stuck on. That's the only way you can get it through here. I don't know how else to do it. And it's a little tight, but we eventually get it through. And we're about halfway down to the bottom of the quarry now. I think we're getting close. We've got a couple more minutes to go before we get there. This is going pretty good. There's a little bit less trouble than I actually thought. I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult than this, but she's doing okay. Now, one thing to remember, and I had a little bit of a cranial cramp near the end of this video. When I went to deliver it, you have to have your truck in the delivery area, the cargo area, not the trailer. The truck has to be in there. And I went and drove it in, and I parked it in that delivery area, and I backed the trailer up, and I did a really nice job as far as I'm concerned, even if I do have to say so myself. And then I find out, well, I couldn't back it up enough to get the truck into the delivery box, so I ended up having to move it out of there and change it and go around. But we'll get there in a minute. It's just a minor inconvenience. Driver control, operator error, you know? Now, coming down over here, you got another couple of little rocky areas. This area where you got to go beside that rock is really narrow, but there's room to go through it because we've been through them many times. This is, like I said before, when you're pulling a trailer, you just got to go a little bit slower and take your time. See, and the road part here too, right around this rock, really angles towards the left. So you just you take it easy, and the trailer will stay attached. If you go too fast, I don't know what would happen, because I don't drive like that. So another little bit of a mud area down here at the bottom. Another minor inconvenience for the Avenhorn. There we go. We're almost at the bottom. Pretty soon we're going to be finished in the Almaty region, and then we got to make up for our mind whether we want to go to Austria or go to Quebec. Or if anybody's got any ideas what they'd like to see next from SnowRunner, do you want to see more mud, or would you like to see some snow? Drop a hint in the comments section, let me know, and we'll see who wants to see the snow and who doesn't. Now, this area here, really tight area, and I could not figure out how I was going to get it through there, because sometimes I couldn't get my truck through there. Now, I shifted it into automatic because I know I was going to have to jockey it back and forth. And if for some reason she gets stuck on this rock here, don't ask me why, She climbs over bigger boulders than that, so I just had to move it over a little bit. And I just overshoot a little bit towards that yellow cab of that, whatever that is, skid or whatever. And then I just jockey back and forth. Now, I figure there's no way I'm gonna get it past that backhoe bucket on the left-hand side. And I figure, well, I'm just gonna see if I can drag it over top of the backhoe bucket. But as you can see, it's not even gonna touch it. And I don't understand how it got through there, but it did. And we're free and clear. So we're almost at the bottom and we're a happy camper. Now this spot up ahead here with that, you can see that rock in the middle of the track there. If you just had your truck, you could turn a tight left and you could slide down the hill there. There's an area where you can slide down the hill and make it right to the bottom. Now I'm not going to do it with the trailer, it's just a little bit too tough. And it's really difficult to pull it over top of this because everything is angled from one side to the other and then back again. But as you can see, you could slide down there. I might have been able to do it with the trailer, but I didn't have the nerve to try it. So we're just going to go over the normal path and hope we don't lose the trailer there. So that looks like we're over top of it now. All right, well, we're almost at the bottom. I think that was the last issue spot. I don't think there are any other real trouble spots until we get to the bottom. Lots of boulders though. Lots of rocks and boulders in this quarry, and for that reason alone, I prefer to have the truck with the biggest tires because you don't feel it as much. They don't bounce as much, and the Avenhorn's tires are a little bit smaller than some of the other trucks that do have bigger tires, but I still think that the Avenhorn is the best truck for this kind of job. Just at the bottom there, straight in front of us is the bottom of the quarry. Now, like I was telling you earlier, I should have gone straight. Not here just yet, because then we'd be hitting the wall of the quarry. But when you go around the corner here, you can see the loading box there where the arrow is. And I should have gone straight and then turned a left into the delivery area. Delivery cargo management area. I'm not sure what you call it. Anyhow, I didn't do that. I thought I'd back it in. I thought there's lots of room. So that gives me an opportunity to, I do practice to back up every once in a while, but it gives me an opportunity to back it in and then drop it off. But like I said, I forgot that the cab of the truck has to be in the cargo management box to be able to deliver your payload. So, as we are playing around here, practicing our backing up, which is not going to really do anything for us other than showcasing how not to do it. So we get it to here, and I figure, well, I'll back it up and then I'll pull it forward into that track straight in front of me, behind me at the moment, and then we can back it up one more time and get it in there. That's about as far as I can go. And here, these rocks have a nasty way of getting in your way, you know. I got to back it up a little bit just so I can get by that rock. So I got to go a little bit further forward. Imagine my excitement when I saw how well it was working for me. You know, it doesn't usually work this well for me, but I managed to get it in the compartment area, and I'm backing it all the way up, and then I run into that little cabin in behind the area there, and he won't go any further. And then when you look, the truck is just missing. It's missing the area back out of it. Okay, There's no time to sit around and cry over spilt milk. Go around the corner, do the circle, drive in, deliver the cistern, let's go home and have a cup of coffee. That was funny. I really enjoyed that. Boy, this was a fantastic delivery. I really enjoyed this one. It's the first part of the Fury Road task, part of the KAZ Minerals PLC contract. Like I said, we got to come back with 4 pallets of oil barrels, and we're going to do that in our next video. I hope that you will join us, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe got some tips or tricks out of it. If you just came just because you enjoy the videos, absolutely awesome. Like them, share them, watch them, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you back here again real soon. In the meantime, we've been delivering a cistern to the new Slate Quarry in Zherbai Quarries with the Avenhorn A15, with me as your pilot. Yeah, the Hope Effect.